Today we're here with Aquasana, a maker of award-winning water filtration products, to talk about NetBase and how they use NetBase to learn about what their customers are saying about them on the internet. So tell us a little bit about yourselves and about Aquasana.
I'm Courtney Turner. I am the social media and community manager here at Aquasana, and I use NetBase the most to kind of gauge our community interaction and the sentiment of our brand and do the market research with the NetBase tool.
I'm Derek Mellencamp. I run marketing here at Aquasana, and I rely on Courtney to provide insights that come from the use of the tools that NetBase provides us.
Hi, I'm Todd Bartee. I'm the CEO of Aquasana. At Aquasana, we make a full line of award-winning water filtration solutions, including drinking water products, shower products, and whole house products. We offer a full range of products that have a superior performance and value combination, but because they're primarily sold to consumers through the internet, we also have the unique ability to customize solutions for people, depending on what the water at their home actually looks like.
So tell me a little bit more about that. What are sort of the sorts of customization do you do?
Well, we have a whole set of different cartridges that we can put in our drinking water products. We can change out the media in our shower filter and our whole house filter products, depending on what's in people's water. We also have a tool called My Water that allows folks to test their water and see exactly what's in it, and then we design a solution for them. And then if they buy the solution, obviously we rebate the cost of the test, so they get the perfect solution for them. But that comes from our direct relationship with the customer and the fact that our products are sold primarily through the internet. And because of that, you can imagine that the Insights tool gives us a lot of powerful information about the Aquasana brand from the customer's point of view.
Right, so this is a bit of a differentiating factor for Aquasana. I wouldn't think most of your competitors are as internet-based as you guys are. Is that right?
That's true. Most of the big name products are sold primarily through retail or other distributors. We think that that's a really unique position for Aquasana to be able to have a direct relationship with our customers, solve unique problems that they might have, and at the same time offer them a superior value because of that as well.
So how did you hear about NetBase and what sort of prompted you to look their direction?
Actually, I attended a webinar in the beginning of the year that was hosted by Jason Falls. It was about social media planning and goal setting and making sure that you're measuring things accurately and to measure. A lot of people forget. And then after, it was hosted by NetBase. And after the webinar, NetBase contacted me and they said, hey, we want to know more about your social media plans and what are you doing? Are you measuring? We have this great tool. Would you like a demo? So I had the demo from one of their representatives, and it was really great. I was immediately struck by how powerful it was, not only in terms of keeping an eye on the community and being able to enter conversations that were already going on, but also just a market research tool to gauge how effective our marketing was and is, and keep an eye on things that way, and then be able to target and hone in more specifically on our goals that way.
So how does it work? Is it just comb the internet or certain sites or everywhere Aquasana is mentioned, or?
I'm pretty sure it's all Aquasana mentions. It's news stories and blogs and social media sites and Twitter, and it tells you on the actual tool where the conversations come from, what domain they come from, so you can go in and find that conversation and see what was actually said in a greater context.
Right.
And it pulls in all these sound bites from all these conversations, and they have an algorithm, a natural language processing, which very tells you if it was a positive or negative conversation, and you can get a sense of how many positive conversations are going on and how many negative conversations are going on, and then go find those and find out what the negatives and what the positives are.
So when you first started using the product, did you find out some things that surprised you, or were you learn some new things about customers that you've tweaked your marketing plan or sales strategies and that sort of thing? based on what you learned?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. So we talk a lot about the specific contaminants that we remove, and there's a huge list of them. And they're all very technical, terms. And it surprised me how many of our consumers knew those terms and know what they are and talk about them, just as sophisticated as we do. And they are aware and research for specific products that remove those contaminants.
So were you doing something similar to this before NetBase? Were you trying to glean this sort of information before they came along, or did you just learn that there was a possibility to do that? And so
I was looking at some other, I wanted something as a social media manager to gauge my communities and to make sure that, I was hitting all the right buttons and to be able to tweak my content and the conversations we were having more specifically. So I started to look at some other tools that we could use, and NetBase is why I attended the webinar. Actually, I was just trying to, get into the space a little more, and we looked at like Radian 6, and it's a fine tool, and I just wanted something a little more robust. And we talked to Meltwater Buzz, and they have a great tool too. But the thing that sets NetBase apart is that from the day you sign up, the day you start using it, you can index the previous 12 months of conversations.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't start the day you sign up, and then they start aggregating those conversations about your brand or your search terms.
So have you learned things about your competitors that you didn't know from actually trying to learn about yourselves, but in the process getting some of that information as well?
Definitely. Our competitors also, most big companies now inhabit social media spaces. And so it's interesting to learn what people talk about online in relation to our competitors as relation to us. So that's actually one thing that NetBase is really good about, is you can search for yourself, and you can also search your competitors. And you can use their tool to create a netnography, which is kind of this broad overview of where you exist in the competitive landscape versus like where other companies and other brands exist in the competitive landscape. And so we've done the netnographies about like what are the positive things that people like about Aquasana, and they like the value and the performance and the number of contaminants that we remove, and then like what are the negative things that they don't like about us, so that we can more finely hone our marketing and our products to try to solve for those problems. And then the same for our competitors. Look at what do people like about their competitors, and what do people not like about our competitors, and what do they say about them on Facebook when they're complaining about them to their friends, and when they tweet, and when they blog about them.
So how long has the company been around, and was it always internet-based?
The company's been around for about 12 years. The big push in the internet started, I'm going to say about 7 years ago. Prior to all of us being at the company, but the Aquasana brand was launched about 7 years ago, primarily through the internet. Now the bulk of our marketing is spent driving demand online and driving visits to our website and our comparison information that we have of our product versus our competitor products.
Great. And have you been able to quantify at all how NetBase has affected the bottom line? Is that something, it's probably hard to do with a product like this, but
it's difficult to do, and we've only been using it for 2 months, so we don't have a lot of track record with it yet, but definitely just being able to do those negative versus positive netnographies, we've gotten a lot of insight about our competitors and about where we exist in the kind of environment with everybody, which is huge. And also being able to identify both positive and negative conversations that are going on, and being able to step in like right when they start and correct misconceptions.
So does it give you an alert of some kind when?
No, there's not an alert.
You just monitor it continuously, and then you actually insert yourself into the conversation and answer questions or correct misconceptions.
Because you can find, like, using the domain, like you can go find the conversation and like step in and read the greater context and say, okay, so this is what you believe about this, and like this is the truth. So.
One of the biggest values of the tool that Courtney has mentioned before is the netnography that we pull together, and it was really interesting for a couple of reasons. And it provides a lot of really actionable insight as a brand marketer. So one of the things we did first and foremost was to compare the tenets, who we think we are as a brand, against what the perception is out in the marketplace with NetBase, and we're able to validate that we're on the right track. And actually, what we think of ourselves as a brand is largely what our consumers think of us as a brand, which was really, really nice as a marketer. Kind of the holy grail of marketing is to be able to.
Not always the case, right?
Right. You want to be able to understand what consumers are saying about you in the ether web, the internet, and we were able to do that pretty succinctly and pretty quickly. The other really interesting aspect of it was we're also able to pull similar data for our competition. And so we were able to make some pretty significant tweaks to our positioning and branding based on consumer insight and the value that we know we can provide relative to the competition out in the marketplace. As an example, the most common type of filtration that's on the marketplace right now is a pitcher filter. Mm-hmm. There are lots of brands that have pitcher filters, but we know that we offer a superior product to the pitcher filters. But we are always thinking about it along the lines of, we know our performance is better. We take out more of the bad stuff and we leave in the good stuff. What was really insightful that we learned from NetBase and some other sources was that the reason why people were abandoning pitchers was more of the convenience of using them, or rather the inconvenience of using them. So we saw that a lot in the research that the netnography provided, and we were able to really bring up in our messaging kind of how easy Aquasana is as a product to use relative to the other products on the marketplace. It's always available from your tap. It's always on. The filters last 12 times longer than your average pitcher filter. So things like that are kind of really, we weren't really thinking about them that much, were brought to the fore by a lot of the insight that we gained from this tool.
So how easy or difficult was the tool to implement or to learn to use?
It's pretty easy. Like, the tool itself is really user friendly, and it's, got little tabs and, little searches. I did go to NetBase University in California in their offices in Mountain View, a 2-day little kind of tutorial on not only how to travel through the tool and use it, but then how to use those insights to create reports for your superiors and then to then use, to direct marketing and to direct business. So the little 2-day class was really helpful, and there's some statistics and things like that which are really useful. And then just kind of figuring out from there, like, how do you use the tool, and then the NetBase representatives help you kind of find like where you're going. Like, so you've done kind of your brand and you've looked at like your competitive landscape, or you've done your netnography, but what else can you do with this? Like, right. How can you bring the ROI? Like, there are some other searches you can do, and they help you brainstorm. And so that's what we did at the end. And like, as I was coming home, I was on the plane like, what can I do?
Where do we go to learn more about Aquasana?
Aquasana.com.
You have a Twitter address as well?
Yep, /Aquasana, and we're on Facebook at /Aquasana, and we have a blog, aquasana.com/blog.
Great. Well, thanks very much for coming on Building 43.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.